Like, Trump made a speech at United Nations General Assembly. He claimed that climate change was a bogey and carbon footprint was nonsense. You are going to hell, he told European Union countries. His claim that paracetamol causes autism was pooh-poohed by WHO chief scientist Soumya Swaminathan. All in all, it was a typical cowboy speech by Trump.
UNGA speech. Trump's accusations are becoming crazier every minute.
And as you can imagine, it's a cover story for many international newspapers as well. Let's take a look at British, the Daily Mirror here, that calls the speech, quote, deranged. It summarizes the speech that was 56 minutes long. It talked about climate, migrants, Gaza, but also escalators, marble floors, and teleprompters, and may I add, cows. Then we have a French left-wing Libération here with a very opinionated headline that says, quote, Trump is pissing off the world, and the paper calls the speech staggering, violent, and incoherent. Moving then to Spanish daily El País that estimates that Trump's aim is to blow up the rules of the international game, and Germany's Die Zeit agrees with that. The magazine says that Trump's accusations are becoming, quote, crazier every minute.
On oil imports, US says, we don't want to punish India. You can buy oil from every nation on the earth, not just Russian oil. India says, our energy strategy is guided by national interest and market dynamics, turning to discounted Russian oil after Western sanctions restricted supply. What do you say? NATO chief says, tariffs imposed by the US have led to India asking Russia to explain its Ukraine war strategy. Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke directly with Russian President Vladimir Putin on the matter. India says, NATO chiefs claims that Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a phone call with Vladimir Putin, seeking details of his Ukraine war strategy are factually incorrect and entirely baseless. No such talks took place. What do you say?
Like, Trump also said, sponsor of terrorism can't have nukes. He was referring to Iran, not Pakistan. Pakistan PM indulged in absurd theatrics at United Nations General Assembly, typical of a bankrupt nation.
There is no more serious danger to our planet today than the most powerful and destructive weapons ever devised by man, of which the United States, as you know, has many. Just as I did in my first term, I've made containing these threats a top priority, starting with the nation of Iran. My position is very simple. The world's #1 sponsor of terror can never be allowed to possess the most dangerous weapon. That's why, shortly after taking office, I sent the so-called Supreme Leader a letter making a generous offer. I extended a pledge of full cooperation in exchange for a suspension of Iran's nuclear program. The regime's answer was to continue their constant threats to their neighbors and U.S. interests throughout the region.
A picture speaks 1,000 words, and we saw many pictures of terrorists slain in Bahawalpur and Muridke terror complexes by Indian forces during Operation Sindoor. When senior Pakistani military and civilian officials publicly glorify and pay homage to such notorious terrorists, can there be any doubt about the proclivities of this regime? The Prime Minister of Pakistan also advanced a bizarre account of the recent conflict with India. The record on this matter is clear. Till 9th May, Pakistan was threatening more attacks on India, but on 10th May, its military pleaded with us directly for a cessation to the fighting. The intervening event was the destruction caused to multiple Pakistani air bases by Indian forces. The pictures of that damage are, of course, publicly accessible. If destroyed runways and burnt out hangars look like victory, as the Prime Minister claimed, Pakistan is welcome to enjoy it.
And Trump did not fail to claim the Nobel Peace Prize at the United Nations General Assembly too.
At UN, Trump says he ended India-Pak war. I deserve Nobel Peace Prize.
At the UN General Assembly today, former President Donald Trump claimed he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize, saying he ended 7 wars during his term. While critics question the claim, Trump insists it's about results, not awards. His speech has reignited debate over his foreign policy legacy.
They don't give me credit, but I ended 7 wars. Not 1, not 2, 7. The UN talks, I act, I deserve the Nobel Peace Prize more than anyone. But I don't need awards, I need results. We brought peace. That's what real leadership looks like.
What do you think? Recognition overdue, or just political theater?
Macron says if Trump wants Nobel Peace Prize, he should stop Gaza war.
President Macron just said that if you want the Nobel Prize, you should put an end to the war in Gaza. What's your response to that?
Well, they say that altogether. I mean, it's Gaza, it's Russia, it's everything. I think Gaza's going to come along. We're going to have a very important meeting, and my next meeting actually is going to be very important with leaders in the region. And we're going to talk about Gaza. We're going to see if we can do something about it. We want to stop that. We want to get our hostages back, or their hostages back. We've gotten all of the American hostages, as you know, and Alexander, all of them have been back. Steve Witkoff's done a great job.
Breaking news, next news item, oh, it's breaking fast. Next news item, blink and it's gone.
Like, to the chagrin of Trump, US telecom giant, T-Mobile, appointed Srini Gopalan as its CEO, and Chicago-based beverage giant Molson Coors appointed Rahul Goyal as its CEO.
Take that, MAGA. 2 big U.S. companies appoint Indian-origin CEOs amid H-1B crackdown. At a time when the Donald Trump-led U.S. administration is tightening H-1B visa rules, 2 major American companies bucked the trend by promoting India-born leaders to top positions. T-Mobile, the U.S. telecom giant, will see Srini Gopalan, 55, step into the CEO role on November 1st. Chicago-based beverage giant, Molson Coors, named Rahul Goyal, 49, as its new president and CEO, effective October 1st. Goyal, who succeeds Gavin Hattersley, has been with the company for 24 years. A native of India, he studied engineering in Mysore before moving to the U.S. for business studies in Denver, and has worked across Coors and Molson brands in the U.S., UK, and India.
Like, going by the present trend, the day is not far off when Trump will target Satya Nadella, Sundar Pichai, Ajay Banga and others. Agree?
TikTok back in U.S. Trump approves TikTok deal. She gives go-ahead to U.S. ownership. Oracle among new buyers. President Donald Trump signed an executive order declaring that a proposed deal allowing TikTok to continue operating in the United States after months of uncertainty over the Chinese-owned social media platform. Donald Trump signed an executive order finalizing a deal allowing TikTok to operate in the U.S., with a majority stake moving to U.S. investors like Oracle and Silver Lake. ByteDance will retain less than 20% equity. Much is still unknown about the actual arrangement, but Trump said Chinese President Xi Jinping gave us the go-ahead to proceed with the deal.
I had a great call with President Xi, and as you know, he approved the TikTok deal, and we're in the process. We have some great investors, some of the biggest in the world, American investors, great people, and we look forward to getting that deal closed.
Is it fully approved? The Chinese statements didn't necessarily indicate that.
I think so. I mean, when you say fully approved, I don't know what that means. We have to get it signed. I guess there could be a formality. I found his word to be very good. President Xi and I had a long talk. We talked for almost 2 hours.
H-1B visa. A wake-up call. Trump's hydrogen bomb. POTUS signs a proclamation to restrict the entry of certain H-1B aliens into the U.S. as non-immigrant workers, requiring a $100,000 payment to accompany or supplement H-1B petitions for new applications. America First. The chaos. Drama on plane. Indians pleaded to get off. H-1B visa panic. Trump news. Trump's H-1B decision sparks drama on plane. Indians pleaded to get off. Indian passengers disembarked flight, as new $100,000 fee rocks tech world. A new proclamation from the U.S. government imposing a staggering $100,000 annual fee on H-1B visas has sent shockwaves through the tech world, causing widespread panic among visa holders. The news led to a chaotic scene at San Francisco International Airport, where an Emirates flight bound for India was delayed by over 3 hours after several Indian passengers disembarked mid-boarding. A viral social media post described the scene. An international flight packed with Indians had completed boarding and was due to leave San Francisco Airport when the news about H-1B visa new rules just broke out. Indians aboard panicked, pleaded to get off the plane. In response, major tech companies like Microsoft and Amazon urged their H-1B staff to return to the U.S. immediately and advised those already in the country to avoid international travel. The new fee is a dramatic leap from the current $2,000 to $5,000 range. The proclamation, which took effect on September 21, faces potential legal challenges from immigration attorneys and industry groups who argue it is unlawful and will harm the U.S. economy. The fake news statement. Corporate lawyers and others with agendas are creating a lot of fake news around President Trump's H-1B proclamation, but these are facts. 1. The proclamation does not apply to anyone who has a current visa. 2. The proclamation only applies to future applicants in the February lottery who are currently outside the U.S. It does not apply to anyone who participated in the 2025 lottery. 3. The proclamation does not impact the ability of any current visa holder to travel to from the U.S. A moment of relief came for existing U.S. H-1B visa holders after White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt ended all speculation. In a post on X, she clarified that the proposed $100,000 annual fee would apply only to new H-1B visa petitions, not to current visa holders or renewals. Leavitt assured that those already holding H-1B visas do not need to rush back to the U.S. before Sunday or worry about the new fee. Caroline Leavitt, U.S. Press Secretary, posted on X. To be clear. 1. This is not an annual fee. It's a one-time fee that applies only to the petition. 2. Those who already hold H-1B visas and are currently outside of the country right now will not be charged $100,000 to re-enter. H-1B visa holders can leave and re-enter the country to the same extent as they normally would, whatever ability they have to do that is not impacted by yesterday's proclamation. 3. This applies only to new visas, not renewals, and not current visa holders. It will first apply in the next upcoming lottery cycle. Joseph B. Edlow, Director, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, issued a clarification order titled, Proclamation, Restriction on Entry of Certain Non-Immigrant Workers, H-1B. On September 19, 2025, the President issued a proclamation, Restriction on Entry of Certain Non-Immigrant Workers, to address systemic abuse of H-1B non-immigrant visas. Pursuant to Sections 212(f) and 215(a) of the Immigration and Nationality Act, INA, 8 U.S.C. 1182(f) and 1185(a), the entry into the United States of aliens as non-immigrants to perform services in a specialty occupation under Section 101(a), 15(h), I(b) of the INA, 8 U.S.C. 1101(a), 15(h), I(b) is restricted, except for those aliens whose petitions are accompanied or supplemented by a payment of $100,000. This guidance applies to H-1B employment-based petitions filed after 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time on September 21, 2025. This proclamation only applies prospectively to petitions that have not yet been filed. The proclamation does not apply to aliens who are the beneficiaries of petitions that were filed prior to the effective date of the proclamation, are the beneficiaries of currently approved petitions, or are in possession of validly issued H-1B non-immigrant visas. All officers of United States Citizenship and Immigration Services shall ensure that their decisions are consistent with this guidance. The proclamation does not impact the ability of any current visa holder to travel to or from the United States. Indian aliens in the U.S. refers to the large and growing population of people from India residing in the United States, including both immigrants and those who are undocumented or seeking asylum. The term alien is official U.S. legal terminology for a non-citizen, but it is outdated and considered insensitive. The preferred term is immigrant or, more broadly, Indian Americans. Indian immigrants are a highly skilled group who contribute significantly to the U.S. economy, though a growing number also seek asylum and some enter the country without authorization, leading to increased deportations.
Breaking news. Next news item, oh, it's breaking fast. Next news item, blink and it's gone.
Opposition targets PM Modi on Trump's new H-1B visa rules. H-1B visa rules are applicable globally, and is uniform for all countries in the world, unlike the tariffs which are country-specific. Brain drain was a phenomenon of the 80s, when there were lesser opportunities within India. Does this phenomenon continue? Can anything be done to improve this?
76% भारतीय वहाँ की पूरी आईटी और टेक इंडस्ट्री में शामिल हैं। उन सब पर आज बहुत बड़ी चोट हुई है। $1 लाख प्रति वर्ष की, या तो वो अगर खुद अपना काम कर रहे हैं तो उन्हें देना पड़ेगा, या किसी कंपनी के साथ हैं तो उस कंपनी को वो हर्जाना देना पड़ेगा। तो ये भारी नुकसान है।
रुको जरा, सब्र करो। What we can expect from Mr. Trump after becoming President of United States of America? Mr. Trump thinks he has become dictator of the whole world, and the world has become unipolar world under the leadership of American imperialist power, and this we strongly condemn the way the Mr. Trump has been waging trade war, tariff war. Now this is visa war on the people from other countries, particularly targeting the countries of global south. We strongly condemn this, and this issue has to be taken up seriously with by international community. How the head of a state can go on doing all such aggressive measures which subject the people of all regions in the world into sufferings and hardship.
India opposition leaders have reacted sharply. Rahul Gandhi called Prime Minister Narendra Modi weak, criticizing his handling of foreign relations. Mallikarjun Kharge outlined the multiple losses to India's economy and strategic interests, including high tariffs, the Hire Act, and setbacks to projects like Chabar Port. Meanwhile, Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav questioned India's preparedness for such unilateral moves and warned that increasing dependence on foreign nations for essential resources like oil and fertilizers weakens the country's sovereignty.
Owaisi attacks PM, calls H-1B visa fee hike failure of Modi government.
राम ना करे मेरे देश को, राम ना करे मेरे देश को, कभी भी ऐसा नेता मिले जो आप भी डूबे, देश भी डूबे, जनता को भी ले डूबे, जनता को भी ले डूबे.
White House view on H-1B visa. The White House released a fact sheet. The fact sheet outlined the reasons for President Donald J. Trump to suspend the entry of certain alien non-immigrant workers. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. President Donald J. Trump signed a proclamation to restrict the entry into the United States of certain H-1B aliens as non-immigrant workers, requiring a $100,000 payment to accompany or supplement H-1B petitions for new applications, to curb abuses that displace U.S. workers and undermine national security. The proclamation restricts entry for aliens as non-immigrants to perform services in specialty occupations in the H-1B program unless their petition is accompanied by a $100,000 payment. Combating H-1B abuses. American workers are being replaced with lower-paid foreign labor, creating an economic and national security threat to the nation. The share of IT workers with H-1B visas has risen from 32% in FY 2003 to over 65% in recent years. Unemployment among recent computer science graduates has reached 6.1% and 7.5% for computer engineering graduates, more than double the rates for biology or art history majors. The number of foreign STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics workers in the United States has more than doubled between 2000 and 2019, while overall STEM employment only increased 44.5% during that time. American IT workers have even been reportedly forced to train their foreign replacements under non-disclosure agreements. The H-1B program is creating disincentives for future American workers to choose STEM careers, which threatens our national security. President Trump is imposing higher costs on companies seeking to use the H-1B program in order to address the abuse of the program, stop the undercutting of wages, and protect our national security. Prioritizing American workers. Voters gave President Trump a resounding mandate to put American workers first, and he has worked every day to deliver on that commitment. President Trump has aggressively and successfully negotiated new trade deals to bring manufacturing jobs back home and attract new investments to the U.S. President Trump is using tariffs as a strategic tool to rebuild American manufacturing, secure our supply chains, and protect U.S. national security. President Trump has implemented several Section 232 tariffs to protect manufacturing that has been undermined by unfair trade practices and global excess capacity. Since President Trump returned to office, all employment gains have gone to American-born workers, unlike last year during the same period under President Biden, when all employment gains went to foreign-born workers. The Trump administration issued new guidance to ensure illegal aliens are not allowed access to federal workforce development resources and related grants, protecting job trainings for American workers. White House says there's a systematic abuse of the H-1B program and said companies were hiring foreign workers while laying off thousands of American employees. India says we are studying the impact of the new H-1B fee rule and the move could cause humanitarian disruptions for families. What do you say?
Breaking news. Next news item. Oh, it's breaking fast. Next news item. Blink and it's gone.
Elon Musk on H-1B visa. I will go to war. Elon Musk's contradictory tweets on H-1B visas go viral after Trump's fee hike. Tesla CEO Elon Musk is making headlines after his contradictory tweets on H-1B visa went viral, following U.S. President Donald Trump's announcement to raise the annual fee for H-1B visas to $100,000.
Once again, a major uproar has erupted in the U.S. over the H-1B visa, and this time, it's Elon Musk himself who has led the charge. He says, if necessary, I'll wage a war you can't even imagine. The Trump administration has proposed imposing hefty fees on H-1B visas, which will hurt Indian workers the most. Musk reacted strongly to this. He says the H-1B visa is the backbone not only for his companies but for the entire American trade industry. Musk himself came to the U.S. on an H-1B visa. He clearly stated, I and many like me have strengthened America. Thanks to the H-1B visa, I also said that if this system is weakened, America's technology and innovation sectors will suffer huge losses. Musk, especially in the tech sector, says reforming the system is necessary, but dismantling it would be foolish. Elon Musk's warning shouldn't be taken lightly. When he says, I'm going to war, Something truly significant is happening.
Is Elon Musk right about H-1B visas? Foreigners are taking good American jobs. Some of the very best, frankly. 5 of America's $8 trillion technology giants are run by people born in other countries. Jensen Huang of NVIDIA hails from Taiwan. Microsoft and Alphabet are run by 2 Indian-born bosses, Satya Nadella and Sundar Pichai. And, of course, Elon Musk, boss of Tesla and Donald Trump's new best friend, is South African. It isn't just big tech. Many of the most all-American brands out there have been entrusted to non-native hands. Citigroup's top banker is Scottish. Pepsi's peddler-in-chief is a Spaniard, and the main Marlboro man is a Pole. American businesses have long been a magnet for the world's best and brightest, and their ability to attract human capital is America's most exorbitant privilege. But now, it is being imperiled by the nativist wing of Donald Trump's Republican Party. Most parts of the Trumpian coalition view illegal immigrants as bad, but opinions begin to diverge when it comes to skilled immigrants, many of whom are holders of visas known as H-1Bs. MAGA immigration hardliners view these visa holders as invaders and cheap labor. They suspect a plot by businesses to employ cut-price foreigners instead of Americans. But the other side, Elon Musk and his Silicon Valley pals, have defended the visa program. They regard skilled immigrants as the key to the innovation that will keep America first forever, not to mention keeping their companies competitive and their profits high.
H-1B visa. Poaching. MetaView co-founder posts job offer for H-1B holders with 24-hour hiring decision. After Trump raised the H-1B visa fee to $100,000 for fresh applications, the co-founder and CTO of a San Francisco-based company turned the moment into a hiring opportunity. Not only is he inviting H-1B holders to apply, but he's also promising to make a decision on every application within just 24 hours. Shahryar Tajbaksh, in a LinkedIn post, shared a list of open roles for H-1B candidates at his company, with the words, "If you're on an H-1B visa and your company doesn't value you enough to pay the $100,000, check out to see if any of our roles might be a fit." Tajbaksh noted that many companies from other countries have been trying to lure H-1B holders abroad, but he called those efforts a bit desperate. Instead, come work with the MetaView, right here in San Francisco, where $100,000 is a rounding error compared to the value each member of our team creates, he further added. He also promised that his team is ready to move fast and will give a yes or no decision on each application within 24 hours of first contact. However, there's a catch. Candidates should spare 4 to 5 hours of their time for interviews. Reacting to his LinkedIn post, one investor wrote, "Nothing beats in-person culture at a fast-growing startup like MetaView, and SF is the beating heart of L. $100,000 is a few days of H100 use, definitely a rounding error. This will make for a great screenshot during salary negotiations." Joked another. A third posted, "I like this approach to poaching the best folks." Chinese K visas. Amid H-1B chaos, China bets on new K visa to woo global talent from October 1st. The K visa, which observers are calling China's version of the US H-1B, is designed to draw highly skilled talent.
China on Sunday announced a new K visa category aimed at drawing young and talented professionals from across the globe, particularly in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The decision, approved in August, amends China's foreign entry and exit regulations and will take effect on October 1st, 2025. Observers are calling it Beijing's answer to the US H-1B visa, unveiled just days after Washington announced a steep $100,000 annual fee for H-1B applicants. So let's take a look at what this K visa is all about. According to China's Ministry of Justice, the K visa will be open to young scientific and technological talents who hold at least a bachelor's degree from recognized universities in China or abroad. work in STEM-related teaching or research. Meet Chinese authorities' specific qualification and documentation requirements. Applicants must show proof of educational credentials and professional engagement, with detailed guidelines to be issued by Chinese embassies and consulates overseas. The K-visa is designed to be more flexible than China's 12 ordinary visa categories. Multiple entries and longer stays than existing work visas. No need for a domestic employer to issue an invitation letter. Permission to engage in academic exchanges, cultural activities, entrepreneurship, and business. Officials say the process will be streamlined, making it easier for qualified professionals to relocate.
So Chinese professionals are the second biggest beneficiary, a distant second one after India, but yeah, they are the second beneficiary of H-1B visas. And over the weekend, we saw panic on social media before Trump clarified that the fee will only apply to new applicants and that current holders won't be impacted. But some social media users posted about the extreme measures they took to change their flights to get back into the U.S. and other gave advice on the quickest ways to get through customs to enter the U.S., which is a process that's become very lengthy and trickier for Chinese citizens. So current visa holders who were traveling on business trips or were out of the country for holiday, they're still trying their best to get back into the country. But over the long term, the fee hike will likely impact people's decision to work in the U.S. But just as Trump is making it harder for foreign talent to go to the country, Beijing is moving in the other direction with a new visa category, the K visa, attracting young science and technology talent, which will take effect on October 1st. And for a lot of applicants, the process will be streamlined, and also applications won't require a domestic employer to issue an invitation. So this could help China further reverse the brain drain of its talent and keep some of them at home, or even attract more of them to the country, Emily.
Well, how's that for timing, Elaine? Thank you very much.
Breaking news, next news item, oh, it's breaking fast. Next news item, blink and it's gone.
British visas. UK to scrap visa fees for high-skilled workers? Starmer explores zero-fee system amid US H-1B policy.
The visa landscape for global talent is shifting dramatically, with Britain and the United States taking sharply different approaches. At the heart of this change are two key figures, US President Donald Trump and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Starting with the United States, President Trump has introduced a steep new fee for H-1B visas, a move that has sent shockwaves through the tech industry. As of this Sunday, companies seeking to hire skilled foreign workers under the H-1B program will face a $100,000 charge per visa. This move is widely seen as a tactic to curb immigration, but has raised serious concerns among American technology firms that rely heavily on H-1B workers, particularly those from India and other technology hubs. In stark contrast, across the Atlantic, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is exploring proposals that could fundamentally overhaul the UK's visa system for highly skilled individuals. Instead of raising fees, Starmer's government is considering abolishing visa fees altogether for top global talent. This initiative comes as part of a broader strategy to attract the world's best scientists, academics and digital experts to the UK, leveraging the country's strong infrastructure and world-class institutions to fuel economic growth. Starmer's Global Talent Task Force is central to this effort. Launched in mid-2024 with substantial government backing, including a £54 million Global Talent Fund, the task force aims to draw in leading researchers, entrepreneurs, engineers and creatives. The goal is to position Britain as the premier destination for elite global talent. Interestingly, discussions about cutting visa fees in the UK were already underway before the announcement of the US's $100,000 H-1B levy. However, the American decision has energized advocates within the UK government who see an opportunity to undercut the US by making the UK a more attractive destination for skilled professionals. Currently, the UK charges £766, or about $1,030 for the Global Talent Visa. The proposed zero-fee policy would specifically target applicants who have studied at the world's top 5 universities or have won prestigious awards, signalling a new level of selectivity and elite focus for this visa route. The UK government insists that this programme will not impact net migration figures, indicating that they want quality over quantity. Universities in the UK play a crucial role in this strategy, using their international networks to identify and connect with leading researchers and innovators. India features prominently in these plans.
Breaking news. Next news item. Oh, it's breaking fast. Next news item. Blink and it's gone.
Like, New York Times reported that Elon Musk's father is accused of child sex abuse.
Elon Musk is facing new sexual abuse allegations, according to documents obtained by the New York Times September 23rd. Errol, who has at least 9 children and 2 stepchildren, is accused of sexually abusing his children in both California and South Africa, where he was born and currently lives, according to police and court reports, as well as interviews with family members and social workers obtained by the outlet. The earliest incident took place in 1993, when the businessman's then 4-year-old daughter, Jana Bezuidenhout, allegedly told family members that he had touched her. Elon's dad shared in 2018 that he and Jana welcomed a child together.
Like, JSW tie-up with Chinese company BYD is a bit disturbing, isn't it?
Hello Market Updates viewers, big news in the electric car world. JSW Group, a really big company in India, is getting ready to make electric vehicles and trucks. JSW Green Mobility, a part of JSW Group, is talking with 2 big Chinese car companies, Geely and BYD. They want to start selling electric cars and trucks with the JSW name by 2025. Think about driving a cool, earth-friendly car with the JSW logo. Now, about the money. JSW Green Mobility wants to invest a huge amount of money, around Rs 27,000 crore, in a new factory in Maharashtra. This super modern factory will make 500,000 electric cars and 100,000 electric trucks every year. That's a lot of cars and trucks.
Like, Jimmy Kimmel is back with ABC Network, mocking Trump.
Now at 11:30, this just in, media company Sinclair has just announced that they will resume airing Jimmy Kimmel Live starting tonight. In a statement, the company says the decision was made after, quote, thoughtful feedback from viewers, advertisers, and community leaders representing a wide range of perspectives, unquote. Sinclair adds they are in ongoing and constructive discussions with ABC. Last week, KTLA's parent company Nexstar, along with Sinclair, decided to preempt the show following Kimmel's on-air comments about the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. This forced ABC to suspend the show for several days. It was brought back to air on Tuesday this week. No word yet from Nexstar. Sinclair is the largest owner of ABC stations.
Like, Mayor of London Sadiq Khan branded Trump racist, sexist, misogynist and Islamophobic. Maybe a statement of fact.
I think President Trump has shown he is racist, he is sexist, he is misogynistic, and he's Islamophobic. I'm just thankful that we have record numbers of Americans coming to London. Since records began, there's never been a period where more Americans have come to London. There must be a reason for that. You look at a number of different criteria. We're often the #1 city in the globe when it comes to culture, when it comes to foreign direct investment, when it comes to sports, when it comes to the ability for people to fulfill their potential. I'm really proud that we are the greatest city in the world. Long may that continue.
I want Greenland. I want Canada. I want Gaza Strip. I want Bagram Air Base. I want
We're going to leave Afghanistan, but we're going to leave it with strength and dignity. And we're going to keep Bagram, the big air base, one of the biggest air bases in the world. We gave it to them for nothing. We're trying to get it back, by the way. Okay, that could be a little breaking news. We're trying to get it back because they need things from us. We want that base back. But one of the reasons we want the base is, as you know, it's an hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. So a lot of things are happening, but I am very disappointed in the fact that that one's not settled.
On Friday, both China and the Taliban rejected U.S. President Donald Trump's proposal to reclaim the strategic Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan. This airbase is located near the Chinese border. Beijing advised against inciting regional conflict. Meanwhile, Kabul emphasized that Afghans have never accepted a foreign military presence. The sprawling Bagram Air Base was abandoned by American troops 4 years ago in 2021 during their chaotic withdrawal ordered by then-President Joe Biden as Taliban militants took control of Kabul. Trump, speaking at a joint press conference in the UK with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, on Thursday, said he was trying to get the base back because of its proximity to where China makes nuclear weapons.
We're going to keep Bagram, the big air base, one of the biggest air bases in the world. We gave it to them for nothing. We're trying to get it back, by the way. Okay, that could be a little breaking news. We're trying to get it back because they need things from us. We want that base back. But one of the reasons we want the base is, as you know, it's an hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. So a lot of things are happening, but I am very disappointed in the fact that that one's not settled. To think that we settled Azerbaijan and Albania.
China expressed its opposition to Trump's comments, with Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lin Jian stating at a media briefing in Beijing that inciting tension and confrontation in the region will not be supported.
U.S. President Donald Trump said his administration wants to take back Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan because, and I quote, not because of Afghanistan, but because of China, because it's exactly 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear missiles. What is China's comment? Thank you.
China respects Afghanistan's territorial integrity and sovereignty. The future of Afghanistan should be in the hands of the Afghanistan people. What I want to stress is that hyping up regional tension do not win support. We hope relevant sides could play a constructive role for regional stability.
But Trump did not mention he stopped India-Pakistan war in his UK visit.
Breaking news. Next news item. Oh, it's breaking fast. Next news item. Blink and it's gone.
The Taliban, which rules Afghanistan, has vowed to fully prepare for war if the U.S. attempts to retake the Bagram Air Base. The decision was made at a high-level Taliban meeting in Kandahar that was attended by top officials from the government of Afghanistan and the military. The meeting, chaired by the Taliban supreme leader, was triggered by recent remarks from the U.S. president who threatened to retake Bagram. Hibatullah Akhundzada reportedly rejected any foreign military presence at Bagram but stressed the need to maintain political engagement with the world. Donald Trump had earlier remarked that if the Taliban did not comply with his demands, bad things could follow. Taliban leaders in Kandahar are said to have unanimously rejected any possibility of conceding the strategic base. Estonia seeks NATO consultation after Russian jets violate airspace. Russian jets fly for 12 minutes in Estonia airspace. NATO explains why.
Russian jets were flying around for 12 minutes. Why did NATO allow the planes to fly that long?
Well, I think first of all, as you're monitoring these Russian planes, you're not sure they're going to actually cross into the border and get into Estonian airspace. But then when they do, you've got a difficult decision to make. And that is, you need to try to deter this threat if it indeed is a threat, but you're also wary of escalation. You don't. Turkey in 2015 took the step of actually shooting down a Russian surveillance jet that was over its airspace, but that threatened the possibility of military confrontation between Ankara and Moscow. NATO doesn't want to do that, so what you do is you track the planes, establish exactly where they are, establish whether they might attack, and then you try to escort them out of the territory. That explains why you had this 12-minute period.
Russia has earlier entered Poland and Romania airspace too.
Now, also, Russia is denying that they actually were in protected airspace. What is Russia's goal here with this? What is Russia trying to do? Are they testing NATO's capabilities?
Well, the Russians would say that, wouldn't they? Look, let's put this in the context of other incidents that we've had in the past 2 weeks. We've had a Russian drone incursion into Poland with around 20 drones that were in Polish airspace, several of them downed. We then had a Russian drone a few days later that flew over Romania, and now we get this incursion by not just by one fighter jet, that's off course, but by 3 fighter jets. And I think you had a series of European officials and leaders who said yesterday, quite rightly, that Russia is testing NATO. NATO has declared eastern sentry to protect the countries with an air defense almost shield. And Russia's sort of saying, okay, let's see if you're serious about this. I don't think the Russians want to take this farther into effectively a military confrontation, but they want to see if NATO, in effect, can be pushed back just a bit, just as Russia has been testing the limits of NATO support for Ukraine, not just for the recent days, but for years.
Loyalty debate.
H-1B visa setback, the 50% tariff setback, the sanctions on the Chabahar port, and various other things which have made life a bit difficult in the Indo-US relationship currently. I do want to stress that one of the points we raised was why the Indian-American diaspora has been so silent about all of this. One of the congresswomen said that not one phone call has come to her office from any Indian-American voter asking for her to support a change of policy. And this is something that is surprising, and that I think we all need to reach out to the Indian American population saying, if you care about the relationship with your motherland, then you also have to fight for it, speak for it, and make more of an effort to press your political representatives to stand up for India.
12 hours after Tharore's plea to Indian Americans who are still inert, Rahul Shiv Shankar posted on X, if you care about your relationship with your motherland, then you also have to fight for it.
5 members of the U.S. House of Congress who happened all to be from the Democratic Party, and 4 of them were from California, but they had tremendous interest in India. I think the most important message that came out from them was that a lot of American opinion, including in the U.S. Congress, is still very strongly committed to the Indian relationship, to the strategic partnership, that India is valued, and that they remain determined to strengthen that relationship despite the recent setbacks that we are all familiar with, the H-1B visa setback, the 50% tariff setback, the sanctions on the Chabahar port, and various other things which have made life a bit difficult in the Indo-US relationship currently.
In response, one user posted on X, the government of India does not ask our approval for its oil policy or import duties, and so Shashi Tharoor and the GOI shouldn't be expecting us to champion their sovereign policy decisions with the US government. They can hire lobbyists for that. Because we care about the world's oldest and largest democracies getting along, from the US-India civil nuclear agreement, to calling out Pakistan-sponsored terror in Kashmir, to blocking bills that would condemn India on Kashmir while ignoring the right for Kashmiri Hindus to reclaim their homes, to pushing to protect human rights in the Indian subcontinent, to educating about separatist subversive lawbreakers in the US, we punch way above our weight. And, because they know we are powerful, white nationalists, anti-Hindu academics, Khalistanis, leftist Indian writers at Al Jazeera, The Nation, and others endanger us almost weekly with ludicrous accusations, asking the FBI to investigate us as foreign agents, or deport us, yet we do what we do out of deep conviction, Shashi Tharoor. Maybe walk in our shoes before you criticize us. Another person wrote on X, US is yet to implement tariffs on China and keeps on postponing it. As someone pointed out, US would not even have toilet rolls to use if China stops supplying. Huge dependency on China by US. China wouldn't care if its commercial relationship with US breaks. China is self-reliant and self-sufficient. They will survive even if US fully turns against them. Russia, despite all its overseas assets being frozen in huge trade ban, is not only surviving but also growing. We cannot trust China. Equally true as our country would come to standstill if China stops exports to us. Even many made-in-India products consist of huge Chinese components. Even if we stop importing oil from Russia, our dependency on defense is extremely high with Russia. Even the S-400 air defense system, which played a huge role for our success in Operation Sindoor, was supplied by Russia. Russia is the only dependable defense partner we have. As I keep repeating, we are in a tough position geopolitically. We've failed to develop our manufacturing to be self-reliant. China and Russia can survive even if every country in the world turns against them. We've no cards to play and have huge dependency on other countries. We need to become strong. But we are not as strong or Visvaguru as it is projected repeatedly.
Like, after the Prince, now it is turn of Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson's turn. She is taken off the list by charities because of her proximity to pedophile Epstein. And Elon Musk appears in new Epstein files.
The Duchess of York has been removed as a patron of a children's hospice following her email correspondence with the convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. The charity Julia's House says it would be inappropriate for the Duchess to continue as patron of the charity.
Like, Angelina Jolie said though she loves her country, at present she can't recognize her country. Profound.
I love my country, and but I don't at this time recognize my country. And I think that's, but I've always lived internationally. I've always, my family's international, my friends, my life, my worldview is equal, united, international. So anything, anywhere that divides or, of course, limits personal expressions and freedoms and from anyone, I think is very dangerous. And I think these are such serious times that we have to be careful not to say things casually. So I'll be careful during a press conference, but to say that, of course, like all of you and everyone watching, these are very, very heavy times. We're all living in together.
And finally, president of a political party thundered, "We have no room for the corrupt." Somebody from audience asked, "Is it house full?"
Lazy B. September 27, 2025.